Hi Nevaan, good evening.
Good evening, Dishan. How are you?
So you're my first guest of the season, so congratulations for that.
Thank you for
For
bringing
res-
me back.
for reserving the slot for season 2, episode 1, and I'm glad to bring you actually as the first guest to get on with the season. So how are you keeping?
Doing good. Certainly, a lot has changed since the last time we had the first season of the podcast. I mean,
Mhm.
first off, you switched to video, which is very exciting. It's
Mhm.
literally the first video podcast for the longest time, but it's good to be in video format. It's good to properly get a view of the person I'm talking to as well. Um, Things have been going good. I'm currently in my second year of medical school as well, medical uni as well, and things are going well. I'm midway through the semester so far, and just into the F1 season. We have a lot to talk about that this time round. And yeah, what about you? It's good to see you again.
Yeah, good to be back. So I'm currently studying a hotel management course right now. So with that, I'm busy with that. I'm excited to see the F1 season so far. So what have done they have done with that, and I'm new to F1 because I started watching after the 2021 season, like
Oh,
not properly, like the highlights and all. So it's like still new to me. Y'all are more experienced in that category, so that's why I got ahead with you to record the season. Yeah, first of all, let's get to the points we should discuss. What's the future of motorsport in Sri Lanka, if you say?
well, future of motorsport in Sri Lanka. Well, we have a lot of young talent coming up.
Mhm.
Well, of course, we got talent in the form of Yavan and David in the formulas, currently
Mhm.
literally dominating and taking Lanka's name up there to the formulas. We have Eshan Pires taking Lanka's name again, taking Sri Lanka to the GT World Challenge, this time in the European Fanatic GT World Challenge. We have, of course, our school and the school that I was also privileged to race for, St. Thomas's, led by Ryan and the other amazing group of guys there as well. Really good potential talent. I was when I raced with them last year as well. Granted, we did have a bit of a tough round one, but the grit those boys showed. I could feel the energy coming back.
Mhm.
Certainly see that STC is also producing a great lineup of races. Not to mention the fact that our very own Adam Junaid in STC is also under Mora Racing, which is also a
Mhm.
really good team of drivers that are up and coming. Excited to see where Mora Racing goes as well. And also Seshan Gunasekara as well as Saurika Livindu taking the step up to the marchers in Sri Lanka motorsport scene. There's really a lot to
Mhm.
talk about, Disha. I'm actually really happy to say that Sri Lanka motorsports is really coming up fast and quick. So it's really, really nice to see that.
Sure. Speaking of motorsport, of the rise of motorsport in Sri Lanka, what do you rate about the current tracks in Sri Lanka? We have the Speedway. They have expanded into Port City and some places. But they have recently, I think I saw, they have like built a city circuit also, like in a car park or something. And what do you say about that?
So here's the thing, right? Lanka, when it comes to the selection of racetracks, I mean, if you're talking about tracks that are solely get dedicated for karting, Speedway at Bandaragama is by far the best. It is an FIA grade one, FIK grade one
Mhm.
karting circuit, which means if you were to akin it to Formula One, so Formula One races on FIA grade one tracks, right?
Mhm.
The Speedway Bandaragama track is an FIK grade 1. So FIA, FIK grade 1 karting track, which means any international racetrack can take place, including X30s, which is also known as the Formula One of go karting. So, I've personally raced on Bandaragama hundreds of times, and every single time I've
Mhm.
raced at Bandaragama, it's always provided great racing. I mean, from racing in pure two strokes to even racing in the rental carts in the rain, Bandaragama has given me a lot of fun, and I'm sure for all the other races as well when we used to race there. The Port City track also, yes, good racing, but it is not an FIK graded track. I don't think it is at least. But it is
Mhm.
good if you want to go and just, polish your racing skills with your friends as well. Not saying that it is a bad track by any means. It is really fun. It is really fun. I mean, I remember one time I was racing with one of my friends and I hung it around the outside of the final corner and sparks were flying everywhere.
Okay.
But that was by far the craziest moves I've ever done. I did not overtake because it was so dangerous. I backed off in the last minute.
Backed off.
But that's off
Okay.
because it's smart and I lost the back end really badly. No, Banda, even the Port City track does a lot of fun racing, although it's not a graded track, so you can't race X30s. You can race rentals, and by far it is amazing.
Mhm.
Is the city track the one you're talking about at Candy?
Yeah, Candy one. Yeah.
Actually, I have not seen the Candy track, but judging by like the past experience on like me racing at like car park, car park kart circuits, you could say, I'm sure Speedway's track designers would have done a really good job doing that one as well. So I gotta hand it to Speedway. I mean, those guys have really good track selection. So that's for karting, pretty good.
Yeah. So if I can remember, I think in front of Nevaan Market in the Standard Chartered Bank,
Yes,
there was a car park. So there was like a track built in the car park. So I think
yes.
that it's the same exact thing Speedway has done with, I think, in the Candy, I think Candy City Center or something, in a like
Okay,
open area car park. They have done it. I think
okay.
they were like, yeah. Go ahead.
I think if I'm not mistaken, because the Navamma of the car park was done by CMSC and CMSC had a slalom championship. I think I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But maybe Speedway did something like build a temporary kart track for people that want to experience it in Candy. Maybe. I could be wrong, but I've never
Yeah.
seen the Candy. Actually, right after the
Yeah,
podcast, I'm going to.
I think it was that to experience for the Candy people like they who can't travel back to Colombo to experience that like get a few idea and like yeah there was like a championship sort of thing in there also like to experience like
Okay.
you can just register and do that. Yeah,
I mean,
speaking of tracks, yeah, go ahead.
that's sorry, that's exactly where motorsport starts, right? I mean, in terms of grassroots level, karting is still widely regarded as the foundation of motorsport in general. I mean, nowadays you see esports coming up because it's a big thing. Because, like, the realism of certain games allows people to race in higher categories. So, while esports is an up and coming grassroots sport, I still truly believe that karting is your first gateway into the real world of motorsports. So it's good to see that Speedway is kind of fostering that, um, you know, initial liking to motorsports.
Yeah, yeah, great. So speaking of motorsports, like if you get into Formula One, like the past two races have incredibly like it was like I can't even describe in words. Like it was so surreal experience. Like what really happened there?
I mean, coming from a Red Bull fan, I'm still trying to process what happened to Red Bull in over the. I mean, we all know what happened to 2024. I mean, McLaren, credits to them. They've built a car that just aces the regulations. I think where Red Bull messed up in 2024 was, if I recall, Barcelona. Spain, I think they brought a bad flow and they tried to build the car around that flow, but I think I could be wrong again. But there was a bad aero wake. So you know how F1 cars have to be like spotless in terms of their aero design.
Mhm.
So I think Red Bull's design philosophy went a bit out the window 2024 Barcelona, and that's where they started to lose progress. And unfortunately, I think a little bit of that is plaguing Red Bull. We can't say for sure yet because again, coming from a guy that has watched F1 races since 2009, you can't say for sure anything about the pecking order just yet because it is still only two races in. Maybe about 7 to 8 races in, you can kind of tell like a rough idea, right? Because see, if you look at Australia, the Ferraris were so off the pace, you couldn't even count them in. We all thought that they weren't even going to be competitive this year. Then you look at China, Hamilton wins the sprint, Leclerc is
Yeah,
fighting for positions with a broken front wing. Where is this pace? That's exactly what I'm trying to say. When it comes to like determining the pecking order of a season, can't be done within the first 3 to 4 races. It has to be done much later with like 7 or 8 races down the line. Then you can truly determine. But so far, I am at a loss for words, especially as a Red Bull fan. Like Lawson, I know he's a good driver, but it's the car. It's always the car. I mean,
yeah,
we
because Lawson did perform in V Cup with
exactly.
after the Daniel Ricciardo he left. So Lawson did something like around like pace sort of thing. Like
Yes.
he told like the senior team like I'm available, like okay, like with Yuki. So like after the end season, after the preseason testing of 2025 season, they both went to the senior team to I think to test the car, right?
Yes, because see, V-Carb drivers and Red Bull drivers are readily available to test each one of their cars. I mean, typically you see the junior team drivers, V-Carb drivers go straight to the Red Bull car to try and test it out, right? But there's again certain sanctions there. You're right. Lawson performed really well in V-Carb, and I myself know that too. So yes, I was a little upset that Yuki didn't get the seat initially, but when I saw that Lawson was potentially coming into Red Bull, I kind of thought, okay, maybe he could do good. But then Australia, China, Lawson did not have any performance. And still, personally, I know actually, it's all to do with the car because it's no secret that Red Bull builds the car around their star driver, Max. I mean, it's not that they build it around him, but the car's performance is built in such a way that only Max can handle it. I mean, the last proper competitive teammate Max had, in my opinion at least, was Daniel Ricciardo. I mean, yes, Perez did help, like, was competing for the first half of 2021, but then you could kind of see the domination of Max kind of step in. Obviously, as a Red Bull fan, I'm so happy that the domination came in, but like, you could tell the car was built one sided, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I think that's why Lawson is struggling. Come Japan, I'm hoping that Yuki won't get caught up in that mix as well. I hope he can handle it because we do know that Yuki Tsunoda has an aggressive driving style, and we know that he
Mm-hmm.
could potentially dethrone Max, potentially. But
Potentially.
Max is still the favorite of Red Bull. Don't get me wrong. He's still gonna be the number one driver, but there could be a chance that Yuki could even help Red Bull get the constructors this year. But
That
that's
that's
gonna
the that's the point. That's the point of the second seat. The drivers have been swapping and swapping, and the Red Bull are potentially losing the constructors or the points. So
yes,
Yuki has to do the thing about like, okay, get in the P10, get in the 10 place range, like 1 to 10, like try to score a podium, try to get the points and like help
yes.
Max to win the constructors and the WDC. So that would be great from yeah, yeah, that from UK to do that. And speaking of the driver swap, what do you think after Daniel Ricciardo left? Like what happened to Red Bull?
Well, nothing really happened to Red Bull. It's just that I would like to say that Daniel Ricciardo and Max, I would say, were like a powerhouse because I remember 2018 they were crazy fast together, very fast. And like, well, 2017 also, but 2018 was when you could really see them shine. The very infamous, I should say, the Baku crash where Daniel and Max.
So never, what happened when Daniel Ricciardo left for in 2018 from Red Bull? So what happened to the Red Bull team?
I mean, I was also shocked as well,
Mhm,
but
mhm.
could kind of tell that the second team may kind of started declining, and everybody started to question why. I mean, Pierre Gasly was benched 12 GPs into the season. Or not benched, switched to Toro Rosso. Alex Albon was switched 21 GPs in. And then you
Mhm.
see Perez. I mean, at least Perez lasted and Perez could compete, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
When you look at Lawson, 2 GPs in, I mean, it's clearly the car. You could tell that the way Red Bull builds that car is a very certain way. You have to like kind of harness that power, and Max nails that power. It's just that I feel like the second teammate can't really come to grips with the car's power, which is why they kind of struggle a bit. So, I mean, I have high hopes for Yuki as well. I had very high hopes for Lawson. Unfortunately, he couldn't really master the car, but that's okay. That's why Yuki's in the team right now. So,
Mhm.
it's all up to the second driver because Red Bull wants to reclaim the World Constructors Championship. We both know
Yes.
that Red Bull, like, take it from me, when Red Bull first started out, they were very slow, but now you take a look at like the glory days of Sebastian Vettel also. 2009, 10, 11, 12. Wait, yes. No, 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 no.
Mm.
Sorry. 10, 12, 13.
Yeah, yeah,
2009,
yeah,
Bronze GP. That was the year I started
yeah.
watching. 2009 was Bronze GP with Jensen Button. 10, 11, 12, 13, it was pure Red Bull domination with Sebastian Vettel. Then it kind of
Mhm.
slowed back because upon the hybrid era, the first generation, we saw the
Mhm.
Mercedes power unit take over, with the latter half being more Ferrari. And then after Ferrari's nerfing in 2020, Mercedes took the lead. 2021, Red Bull came back. This new current generation of cars we have, Red Bull domination again. Well, up until 2023.
Mhm.
2024, we see McLaren coming back. So you see, this is the cool part about Formula One. It's never a series or sport where it's
Yeah.
all stuck in one place. There's going to be drama, there's going to be controversy, there's going to be major upsets. I mean, look, even Williams, 2019 Williams were the slowest in the grid. Like they were
Yeah.
nowhere to be seen. They had the worst airflow, they had the worst speed with George Russell and Robert Kubica. But then now
Mhm.
you see where Williams is. They have scored 17 points in
Points.
two
Two
races,
races.
compared to their last season when they scored 17 the whole season, 20, 23 or 24 GPs. They scored 17 points that whole season. This season they have scored 17 in two races. So you see, Formula One is consistently developing, which is why the sport is like, it's interesting to watch, in my opinion, at least.
Could that be the smooth operator effect or for the Williams?
Could be. I mean, Alex also is pretty well established. I also want to give credit to James Vowles, the current team principal at Williams. He
Yeah.
is like back when he was in Mercedes era. I mean, we never really knew him. Only like people that watched it properly in 2017 knows the very famous Valtteri, it's James line.
Mhm.
So we all know that. I mean, those fans know. So like, it's cool to see James finally take a step up into like team principal. You can really see the way he works because he's a man of like specifics. He's a man that wants to get things done. It's crazy to see the effect. It's also obviously Carlos because he's a really good racing driver. Like it's obviously I really liked Hamilton going to Ferrari, but I was also very upset that Carlos was dropped from Ferrari because he does have the potential.
Yeah.
But I have no doubts that Carlos will somehow get Williams to the top, and also Albon, seasoned driver. I mean, really, really, really seasoned driver. And I know just that driver pairing with James Vowles and the current,
Perfect. Yeah.
yeah, the current way they're progressing through the calendar. I mean, they're getting more sponsors, which is really nice to see. 2020, they ran pretty much a sponsorless car, which was very sad, honestly. But now they're
Mhm.
coming back with higher sponsors, and it's crazy to see that even Williams is developing. So
Mhm.
it's consistently evolving. Also, with Audi coming in next season, it's going to really shake up the grid. I mean, even the 2026 regulations, there's a whole lot of things to talk about with Formula One. It's consistently evolving, and that's what's cool about it.
Yeah. So about the Williams team, so from like this year they had the title sponsor, right? From Atlassian, I think.
Yes, they
Atlassian.
have Atlassian as the title
Yeah.
sponsor. Atlassian, yes.
Okay. Yeah. So like previously they didn't have any sponsor, right? Like a title sponsor, it
I
wasn't there,
mean,
right?
in 2019, they had Rocket, which is a phone company. They had Rocket. And then 2020, Rocket also was there. But when the season started, Rocket pulled out. So they never really had a
Mhm.
title sponsor. So it was just Williams Racing from 2020, 21, 22, 23. And now
Mhm.
2024, it's good to see they finally have a title sponsor, Atlassian. So now they're going to be like, more stable enough to compete. Because a team of that caliber, also, don't forget, Williams is a historic team. They've had championships in the past. Jacques Villeneuve, Nigel Mansell, they are there. They have competed before, right? So they have that potential to come back.
Yeah. So talking about the F1 teams, like about the Lewis moved to Ferrari. So now George has taken the leadership of the team, and now he has a youngster, 18-year-old Kimi Antonelli.
Yes.
So he has performed extremely well in the Australia and Chinese GP. Unfortunately, they have to redesign the entire graphics because of the DNFs and the disqualifiers. Like he's moving forward, but I think Australia he overtake Alex Hammer. That was a perfect overtake. Like
Perfection. I mean, if you look at like considering he's a rookie too, that was
yeah.
an incredible overtake. It had me on the edge of my seat thinking, what's this guy doing? He should not be overtaking here. And he perfectly nails it. I mean, obviously, even Alex had to back out a bit because potentially he also saw the thing coming. But my
Yeah.
goodness, for a young kid, a rookie, let alone his first race, to make that kind of overtaking the wet, crazy overtake.
Crazy. Yeah.
Crazy overtake. Like, but he made it stick, and credit where credit is due. I'm calling it. He is a future champion. I mean, we have Lando, we have Kimi, we have Piastri, we have Leclerc as well. If Ferrari gives him a good car, Leclerc will be there. That's for sure. And I mean, it's crazy. The whole grid is full of potential champions. Heck, even Gabriel Bortoleto is going to be a champion. He just needs the right car. Who else can I say? Who are the? Oh yeah, Ollie Behrman. Ollie Behrman also I know has the potential to get that championship role. I mean George Russell, F2 champion, right? Leclerc, F2 champion. So you see all like again owing to like the foundation of motorsports, right? So you see all this
Mhm.
potential young talent is there in F1 for a reason. And with this many rookies in the
Mhm.
season, I can't wait to see what more we can get from them.
So about the 2025 season, like, is there any predictions you can give for the genuine fans?
Oh boy, predictions. Dangerous topic. I told it's very hard to tell right now. But if we are going based on the results right now, Lando needs okay. Number one, I'm gonna call it now. McLaren is probably gonna retain the constructors. McLaren is probably
Mhm.
going to retain. I again very late, very sorry, not very late, very early to call a prediction yet. I mean, let me know in the 7 to 8 after the 7 to 8 race. I will tell you like a proper prediction. But going off of what I see now, the Red Bull is too much of a tractor as of right now. We can't really say whether they'll do a late development. But as of right now, McLaren is going to win it. McLaren is going to win the constructors. As for the drivers, Lando is in.
Yeah, that's my point.
Yeah,
Like, would they swap the drivers? Like, would they give Oscar the number one or?
they wouldn't, because here's how it works. There is also a typical system, unless stated by the team or unless it's absolutely known. I mean, we can easily assume that Max is going to be given number one, right? Because the car's built around him. He's the only one who knows how to perform it. He's the most experienced at Red Bull, so easily you can assume that Max is going to be given number one. Now, Lando and Oscar, in multiple interviews, Zach has said that there is no preferred number one driver. They are just two drivers in McLaren. So my
Mhm.
reasoning is, if Oscar performs well enough to start leading the championship and he goes into like the 13th or 14th race, or heck, even maybe the 10th race, or the like, let's say the halfway point, 12th, the
Half a
4th
point, yeah.
halfway point, 12th race. Whichever McLaren driver is currently higher than each other in the standings, I think they'll give more preferential treatment to. So not preferential treatment, but preference more so.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But right now, it's going to be equal pickings. And if I told you, if we're going to go based off of what I think right now in the season, Lando is going to win the championship. I don't think Verstappen could close it in as of now, because the Red Bull car is very slow. It's a tractor. He's pulling that tractor up to first place, literally like a buffalo,
Yeah.
like a buffalo pulled tractor. Like the tractor's getting pulled
Yeah.
around, raging bull, and that's Max. So that's all I think
Yeah.
right now. But
Yeah, because in I think in China GP, he said that the car is totally done.
yeah, he
Like,
said the car is a mess.
he's seriously pulling it out.
He's really pulling it. I mean, here's okay. If you want a proper prediction, if Red Bull can make the car work by around the 7th to 8th, maybe the 11th GP, then they might have a chance. But they have to have a consistent P2 driver. If Yuki doesn't perform in these next two races, Red Bull are finished. They are going to have to rely on either Yuki or Lawson. They'll have to choose. So, with that being said, I can't say anything, but if I'm going to say anything based off of the results so far, McLaren is going to win the constructors and Lando is going to win the drivers. But he has to stop bottling the race starts. He has to stop. He has to stop. Lando has to stop bottling the race starts. He qualifies first. He goes straight off the track. You can't win a championship like that. You can't. You can't. You can't. God, he can't. But gosh, he look like all jokes aside, he's a good driver, and sometimes yes, you do perform under stress, and it's okay. But he has got to stop bottling race starts. But I do think that he could win the championship this year, and who knows? Maybe in 2026 you might see Max Verstappen driving with the number 33 again, as opposed to number one. So
Like, there were like talks. I think Russell, they have not extended the contract rate yet, right?
I don't think so, because I think again, much like 2024, a bunch of the drivers don't have seats yet confirmed. If I'm not mistaken, Leclerc, yes, I think he has a seat in Ferrari. Max Verstappen. Oh wait, there's I think Max's contract, if I'm not mistaken, I think Max's contract ends in 2026. Or it goes until
Huh.
2028. One of the two. One of the two. But there is
Okay.
talk of Max leaving Red Bull. They have not dispelled the rumors. There is talk of Max leaving and going to Aston Martin because Adrian Newey is at Aston Martin and so is Honda. So potential. The McLaren boys are staying. That's for sure. McLaren is staying for sure. As for the rest of the team, I don't think we have a confirmation yet, nor do we have a proper, reliable source to say that they are staying. So, yeah, most of 2026 is still up for grabs, I would say. I mean, Hamilton, I think Hamilton is definitely going to extend his contract. I think so. It would be a shocker if he doesn't, because I know he's gone to Ferrari
Yeah.
for one thing, and that's to win his eighth title with Ferrari. So it would be a shocker if he doesn't accept one from Ferrari. So I think we can maybe assume Hamilton's going to get one for 2026 as well. Most of a shout, but we can't say anything else about the other teams just yet.
So to clear it up, McLaren will be locked in with the drivers,
Yeah,
and Max Verstappen could possibly go to Aston because of Adrian Newey and the Honda,
potentially.
and potentially. And about Mercedes, so
Mercedes, again, too hard to say, but if you're gonna go based off of like guesses, I'm sure Toto would keep the current lineup he has. So I wouldn't put it past Toto to switch drivers that fast. Maybe because Kimi is a rookie and he's still learning, I would assume Kimi has a higher chance of being there. But Russell also does have a high chance. You know what? We can probably lock Mercedes boys in as well. So yeah, I would say so. But the rest of the field is too dodgy to say. I mean, we can assume the rookies might stay in the teams their first year. Like, Behrman might stay at Haas, Hadjar might stay at VCub, Bortoletto might stay. Actually, he might stay and go to Audi straight away. So you really can't say anything as of right now, but you could
so
assume
about the 11 team, it's Cadillac, right?
Cadillac. It's confirmed that Cadillac will be. Sorry, it's confirmed that Cadillac will be joining as the 11th team. Very exciting news because I remember the last time we had a 11th team on the grid was 2016, if I'm not mistaken. We had 22 cars back then also in the form of Manor Racing, HRT, Marussia. Not HRT, Manor Racing. It just had Manor Racing. And it's going to be exciting. Seeing 22 cars on the grid again is going to be a bit weird. But, it's a welcome effect. You know that Cadillac is going to be using Ferrari engines, right? Before they actually become an official engine supplier, they're going to start supplying engines from 2028. But as of now, from 2026 to 2027, Cadillac is going to get engines from Ferrari. Also, Alpine is stopping Renault engines. They're not going to have Renault engines. They will take Mercedes power.
Okay. So
And
like Ferrari will be for Ferrari. So Ferrari will be in
Ferrari.
Ferrari.
So it's going to be Ferrari, Haas, and Cadillac. 3 teams.
Yeah. I thought Haas was going to be from Toyota.
No, actually, Toyota has only agreed to have a technical partnership. So there's no engines in.
Okay.
It's a technical.
No, not engine.
So
Yeah.
they will help with like maintenance of engines, maybe reliability bills and all, but they won't do engines. It's not confirmed, but I would like to see a Toyota V6. I mean, we already have Toyota V6s being produced everywhere all over the world. I think they're put into the Camrys or the Tundras in America. I don't see why not. I don't see why we can't put a V6 into the F1 car. So Toyota hasn't confirmed anything, but what we do know is, I think 2026, Mercedes will take Mercedes, obviously. We have Williams, we have we have Mercedes, we have Williams, we have Alpine. I think that's about it. Honda will have Aston Martin only. Ferrari will have Ferrari, Haas, Cadillac. Audi will have Audi. And Red Bull, Ford, because Honda's gone. Red Bull, Ford will be with Red Bull and Racing Bulls. Have I covered all teams? 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm missing a team. Which team did I miss? How could I forget McLaren?
Okay, McLaren. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. About the Audi thing. So is there a team with Audi or?
No, actually, Audi bought the majority stake in Sauber, which basically
Okay.
is stakes last season holding stake F1 team. So from next year, it's going to be Audi Sport Sauber or something. Audi Sport maybe. Audi
Something,
Sport
yeah.
team, yeah. But it's still Sauber. It's just that Audi purchased the main stake.
Okay, okay, perfect. Yeah, I think.
One more potential news. We have, I don't know if you've already read the news, but there is some pretty exciting news. I don't know if it's fake or not, but if
Ah,
could be bringing back the V10 engine.
my
Yes,
goodness.
I mean, it's here's the thing, right? MBS Mohammed bin Sulayem, the FIA president, has had caught a lot of fire recently. I mean, a lot of things, but he has opened the idea of F1 bringing back the V10 engine, not just because of like power and everything, but because now it's gonna be more sustainably fueled cars, right? It's gonna be carbon neutral cars from 2026 and completely totally net zero by 2030, right? So MBS has said there could be a potential V10 future. Well, we don't know. It's not confirmed. Okay, don't take it as confirmed yet because Audi has said that they entered this sport to drive road car innovation through V6s and hybrids and electric powers and stuff, right? So as much of a fever dream as it may seem, F1 is talking about bringing the V10s back. And my goodness, if they manage to bring the V10s back, I don't know what I can say. I mean, that era is just glorious when it comes to racing. So, fingers crossed. I mean, you never know. You've stopped the recording, right? Just see if it's work.
Yeah, so thank you, Nevaan, for joining for today's episode. So, what do you have to say about the episode so far? About it, like a summary sort of thing?
I mean, future of motorsport. I definitely like to see where that goes with like the STC karting team as well. Proud of those guys very much. I'm proud, very proud. Eshan in GT3, a lot of things to see. I mean, Yevon's racing career as well, the future. I'm very excited to see what that holds as well. F1 in general, very crazy season, silly season so far. Can't say much, but me as a Red Bull fan, I'm hoping that the team will pull back. But it's going to be a wild ride, that's for sure.
Yeah,
And who knows what the future holds for Formula One and motorsport as well. We're already seeing a lot of changes, even in the World Endurance Championship. Motorsport in general, I mean, it's going crazy these days, and it's very fun to be a motorsport fan in 2025. So that's pretty much all I can say. Um, I just love motorsport, and it's nice to see that more people are coming to motorsport, more people are doing motorsport, and all the sports are just taking it to next levels. So yeah, pretty much.
actually, perfect. So, I think as a guest, all I can do is you deserve a clap.
Thank you. Yeah.
So, again, thank you very much, Neman, for joining with us today. And I'm
For
glad to
having me.
have you, glad to share the thoughts with you. And I think everyone got an idea about the episode and what we have discussed. And let's see what will the future holds of it.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you for having me again.
Thank you very much. Have a nice day.
You too. Thank you. Bye.